for today's sudden death semi-final between Kelston Boys High School and Wesley. I've got Tussie along today, a Kelston Boys High School student. Tussie, what do you make of the game, mate? Who do you think's going to win?
I think we got a chance of winning today's game. Even though, the field under is great, but I think we got this, eh?
And who's the player to watch in your Kelston team?
Probably I'll say Angilau, Matoko, and Yuta Aoka.
Alright, mate, thanks and enjoy the game.
Yo, West Kelly Black.
So as the teams now make their way out for kick-off here, of course the loser of this one does go home. The winner will join St Paul's College in the final, which will be played next Wednesday at Mount Smart Stadium number 2. We quickly run you through the home side. First of all, Kelston at the back, it's Joe Onyeki, fullback. The two wingers, Carlos Henry and Ezekiel Apaina. In the centres, Aiden Orr and Fred Safata. The halves, Wyatt Rangi and the number 7, Karia Yuka. The front row made up of Xavier Tutaki and Viliami Vaipulu. The hooker, number 9, Johnny Faliloa Maleo. The number 11, Justice Leo Sevi, 12, Bailey Payne, and 13, Yuka Yuka. And the bench made up of Jordan Crichton, Paige Key, Vincent Talor, and Isaiah Aho. And we run you through the visiting team today. Wesley, at the back, Tui Pompey. On the wingers, Sione Hafoka and Samisi Fa'asia. The centres, Sam Havili and Apanisa Silo. The halves, Adam Pompey and Ronan Lawrence. And the front row, number 8, Simone Settifano, and 10, Lenny Niemea. Number 9, Lorenz Tupea. And in the back row, Azali Tangi, Machu Lau, 13, Keanu Naden, and on the bench, Josh Rangomuri, 15, Thomas Manasi, 16, Irirangi Taineri, and 17, Sione Fafita. Heading into this game today, Wesley played a make-or-break game last week when they took on Westlake, coming out 12-10 winners in that one. A great game out there at Wesley. While Kelston, they went down to St Paul's 14 points to 10. That was a second chance qualifier. So St Paul's, by winning that one, go straight through to the grand final next week, and Kelston forced to fight their way through this one. So it looks like we're just waiting for the final formalities before this match to kick off. It should be a great match. Field here is pretty wet out at Kelston Boys High School, plenty of mud around. So it should make for some interesting footy. Handling going to be crucial. And we'll take this opportunity to say a big thank you to our SAS College Rugby League sponsors, of course brought to you by SAS in association with Hayden and Rollock Construction. So thank you very much to those sponsors who make it possible to bring you these live streams every week. We've been here for all of the championship rounds this year, and we'll be here for the grand final next week. Also a big thank you to the Auckland Rugby League board for making this possible, making the funds available. It's a great initiative which supports our young talent coming through the grades. So a big thank you to all involved as we get underway, and Kelston kick down. It's a deep one to start with. Looks like it may have bounced into touch here, so it might be a great start for Kelston. And indeed it is, so Kelston straight away finding touch off the kickoff and will get possession back. So Wesley now set for a dropout. Will come off the boot of Adam Pompey, a youngster signed with the Roosters in their lower grades. I believe has been playing a bit of SG ball and Holden Cup under 20s. Dropout goes about 35 on the fly, and now Tutaki will have the first hit up, and it's a decent one, but met by good line speed from the Wesley line. Shift out towards the right now, and Yorker dummies, but off to Bailey Payne it goes. About 20 metres out from the line now, and Yorker will have a carry. Breaks the initial one with a little fend and takes 3 to bring him down. So Kelston now attacking the line, and Onyeki tackled about 5 metres out from the line. Good 3-man tackle from Wesley. Shifting back out towards the left, and Yoka gets his hands on it. Now Wairangi dribbles the ball through. The chase is good from Kelston, but cleaned up at the back. No, he's missed it, and we might have first points here to Kelston. They're celebrating. Referee Antoinette Mudford points to the spot, and a great start for Kelston Boys High School. Wairangi just threading the kick through there. A bit of a mistake at the back by, I think it may have been Sione Hafoka, just missing the ball there in his own in goal area, and Kelston take full advantage. Excellent start for the 2015 runners-up of this competition. So 4-0, kick to come. You mentioned it is great to have Wesley in this competition, of course, a noted rugby union school who have played at the national tournament for a few years in rugby league, but great to see them involved in this Auckland competition. They've got a wealth of talent out there at the South Auckland School, so great to see them taking part in this competition today. So play about to get back underway with Wesley to resume play. So Pompey to get things back underway, and away we go, and it's a high restart down towards the left of the field. Difficult one for Kelston, but brought under well, and Tutaki now takes a hit up. Good first up contact from Wesley. Now they shifted out towards the middle of the park. And through watching this Kelston team, we've seen 3 of their games this year. Their front row is pivotal to what they do. Often play big minutes, and they're versatile boys. Got a little bit of skill in there as well as pure size. So watch for that impact today. So Yoka now will kick from, I think, just inside his 40, down into the muddy end of the field here at Kelston. Catches Pompey a little bit by surprise, but does well to regather in the end. Onyeki leading the chase and take him down about 20 metres off their own line, Wesley. Dummy half dart there from the number 5, Semesi Fafsia. Infield now, this one, the Lenny Nemia, the prop forward. 2-player into dummy half. So it's 1 out stuff early on from Wesley. Simone Setefano with the hit up. Beats the first one with great contact, gets the offload away, and now 2 players got the ball. Shifting out wide, there's a little bit of space here on offer for Wesley. Can they take advantage of it? Shifting out now. Onyeki's come up, they've all been, now it's a pure foot race. But Ronan Lawrence gets there in the end, but just knocks it forward. So enterprising stuff early on from Wesley there. The crowd like it here at Kelston. Prepared to chance their arm out there on the right edge. Not coming off that time, but perhaps something they'll revisit later in the match. So Kelston now feed the scrum about 15 off their own line, and we'll get an early spread. Taken down there, a couple of cries of perhaps a little bobble in the play of the ball there, but no complaints there. Saifata now out of dummy half. Onyeki now coming in for a dart. So you see the backs already getting involved for Kelston, just trying to relieve those forwards. Good first up contact there from Azalea Tangi. And now off the back sticks, Kelston, the forward starting to get involved now. Tutaki, they miss out. Rangi will kick out there on the left, and again it's up over the top of Pompey at the back. He's got a little bit of work to do here. The Kelston chase is pretty good, and they're going to stop him about 20 off their own line. So Kelston, a couple of good professional sets to start this game. Getting decent options away at the end of the sets. And now again some good defence there, led by Yuta Yoka. Of course, a veteran player in terms of college rugby league experience. He's played in this team for, I think, 3 years now. Was part of that grand final triumph a few years ago over St. Paul's. And, of course, the national title as well. So now Pompey takes it to the line. The big, lanky playmaker. And inside the 10, Kelston. So there's the first mistake from Kelston Boys High School, which is going to give Wesley an early shot. The Pompey will kick for touch. They're just short of the halfway line as it is. And they'll kick it out, start this set about 40 metres off their line. So first real attacking set for Wesley here. Let's see what they can do. They've had to endure a fair bit of defensive pressure early on. Pompey's going to get things started. It looks like Tangi with the first hit up, and in fact they'll go out to the left and Silo will take it, head back inside, so a little bit of variety there. Setefano with a good carry. Tupea into dummy half. Misses out Tangi now, finds Pompey at the back. He's entering that line there as a little playmaking option. He's hard to bring down, but in the end, damage done by the number 5 for Kelston, Ezekiel Apana. Another carry again for Setefano, so heavily involved early on. We mentioned the Kelston front row, or Wesley, making sure their presence is felt early on as well. Tupea now will head back towards the middle of the sticks. Pompey, they miss out. Lawrence now with a little cutout ball. It's out wide, into space. Good scramble there from Kelston to get there, making sure they're numbered up. So fourth tackle, the big number 8, Setefano with the carry. Camped up right on the Kelston line now. Let's see what they can come up in terms of last play options. It's going to swing out to Lawrence. They're going to run it. Pompey now misses the initial one. Was rushed by Saifata. They've got space out wide here, and it looks like they might get there. Wesley, check with the linos, and Wesley have hit back. So good work there. You saw Saifata race out of the line, but Pompey using a little bit of strength there just to beat the initial tackle and then create the overlap on the left. And in the end, Silo gets over for the try. So locked up at 4-all, kick to come. So despite the muddy conditions, both teams looking more than happy to try their arms, spread the ball here, which is good to see. Plenty of enterprising footy being played. Nice execution at the end there from Wesley to make the most of the overlap. And you already see the key part of their attack in the halves is Adam Pompey. We mentioned he's been picked up by the Sydney Roosters. A couple of weeks ago was scheduled to play for Wesley, but got called up as a late replacement for the Holden Cup side. So great to see that pathway into the professional leagues is clear through this competition. We've had a number of boys play through this SAS College Rugby League comp and go on to bigger and better things. So it's excellent to see yet another graduate coming through. In the meantime, Pompey attempts the conversion, and it's a pretty bad one, well out towards the left. Never looked like going over that one. So 4-all it remains. And Kelston will get us back underway. So Karia Yoka gets us back underway with a dribbled kick down towards the left, and it almost catches Wesley by surprise there. Almost another touch finder. And they'll come up with an error, Wesley. So again, great work from Kelston. That's the second time they have regained possession off the kickoff. The first from finding touch, and the second time through forcing a Wesley error. So Phil Gordon will be happy with that part of the game. Of course, if you can wrestle back possession a couple of times there, it makes a huge difference in terms of completion rates and the number of sets you're going to get in the game. So Kelston now are going to pack down a scrum about 35 metres off their line, and everyone set out towards the open side. So Rangi will feed the scrum. Yoka's in it, first receiver, takes it. His brother runs the dummy run, and Onyeki gets involved from the back, but no tricking the Wesley D that time. Sloppy play the ball, and a little too long in there. In fact, it's the number 12, Machu Lau, ruled to have just infringed a little bit there and raked the ball free. So repeat sets for Kelston. A little bit of talk going on about what the option is, and with these slightly breezy conditions here at Kelston, they're going to elect to take the tap. Probably a good option. That penalty was going to be from the middle of the field, and you never know what will happen if you'll find touch or not. So a good option there from Kelston. They'll work it out towards the left. Bailey Payne with the hit up. Now left again, and this time Aidan Orr getting involved. May have crashed over here, pointing to the spot. And yes, we have. So again, a try out there on that left edge for Kelston Boys High School. That time, Aiden Orr just palming off the first contact and powering his way over to the line. So great work from Kelston. We watched them play last week, and already it's a much improved effort. They're playing with a lot of confidence and making the most of their opportunities. So an excellent start for Phil Gordon's Kelston Boys High School side. Got a little impromptu school song going on here at Kelston as well. And great to see the boys getting into it, enjoying their footy today. The try scorer there, Aiden Orr, he's a Year 12 student at the school. Played for the Akarana 16s. A powerfully built centre, and he showed it there by busting over for that try. So we'll try and add the extras now. As it stands, 8 points to 4, Kelston in front. And the flags go up, so Kelston 10, Wesley 4. For about 15 minutes here. So really an ideal start for Phil Gordon, I think. Just the penalty, the only error from them so far, so they've managed to complete every other set. And it's really what you want in these conditions as well. So Pompey's going to get us back underway. And a good crowd turned out here today at Kelston. Plenty of students from the school as well as some Newland Stags we spot, and no doubt a fair few Bay Roskill Vikings as well hanging around, so great to see. Speaking of Bay Roskill Vikings, Tutaki now takes it forward. Head back towards the middle of the park. So making good yardage here, some little one-out stuff. That's a good dart from Falilua Malio. They shift out towards the left and they'll opt for the early kick, and Rangi again chipping it up over the top of Pompey. It's a good kick, but it's probably going to have a little bit too much on it and just rolls dead. So not a bad option from Kelston. Again, they've caught Pompey's positioning just a little bit off a few times and have taken full advantage. So not a bad option there from Kelston. Wesley will jog out and restart the set. And you see a few tired bodies already in that Wesley lineup, so just struggling to get back on side. So Pompey will tap and go. That of course being Tuhi Pompey, the fullback, younger brother of Adam, I believe. Setefano with a good carry forward, but met well by a three-man tackle from Kelston. 40 metres out from their line now. Lawrence gets his hands on the pill. Half-to-half play. Pompey sort of dummies to go out the back, but goes short in the end. Not making a lot of yardage here early on. Wesley, don't be surprised if they try their arm here a little bit, missing out the back, but the number 4, Solo, can't handle the ball, and instead Kelston turn it over now, and Kelston straight onto the attack, so good positive play from the hosts here. Now head back towards the left, a dummy half dart from Aipana. Met and big, first up contact by a fresh man on the field, Josh Rangumuri. Now Yuka's into a bit of space here and the big man's free. Will they be able to stop him? Pompey goes to pull him down. They won't stop him. Referee runs to the spot and we are going to have another Kelston try here. So great work from the hosts, taking full advantage of the Wesley error up on halfway, getting the ball, and from that point on Wesley always seemed to be on the back foot, and in the end it's a great run from the experienced lock forward Utah Yuka, getting into a bit of space, and then the final little fend there on Tuhi Pompey. Pompey really, when you look at the size difference, never stood a chance. Great work there from Kelston. 14 points to 4, kick to come. This has been an excellent start from last year's runners-up. So the kick now just looked like it may have been across the face, but the flags go up. So Kelston 16, Wesley 4 as we approach the final minutes of this first half. Of course, the winner of this match will go on to face defending champions St. Paul's College in the final. St. Paul's looked excellent in their semi last week against Kelston in very tricky conditions. And it was a tight tussle for the most part, but St. Paul's managing to win that arm wrestle. They'll be enjoying the week off here, and I think it's fair to say there's probably a few of their boys out watching today to see who they may face in next week's final at Mount Smart Stadium number 2. So Wesley now, their response here will be crucial. They need, at the very least, a good defensive set, put a little bit of pressure on Kelston before the end of the half. Pompey will get us back underway. It's a towering kick down towards the left of the field, but Kelston diffuse well. And Tutaki, it looks like, will take the hit up. So really important now that Wesley get that line speed right, but bad first up contact there just allows Kelston to make a few extra meters. Tackle's still going. That was Rongamuri getting involved. Yuka now takes the ball to the line and dummies, and a big man with that much skill can be so dangerous. He does have a pass in him, so when he takes it to the line like that, you do sort of have to hang off him a little bit, and that's how he's made so many line breaks in this competition. Speaking of line breaks, Rangi's through now. Looming up in support. I think it may be the number 7, Karia Yuka will wait. It's in fact the number 12, Bailey Payne. So great work out there on the left, and Kelston have just ripped that Wesley right edge to shreds so far in this game. I believe all their tries coming down that side of the field, and that time Wyatt Rangi just sticking his nose through the gap. Great support play. He had 2 options there to pass to, and it was always going to be a try in the end. Bailey Payne, the second rower, with some fantastic support work, takes the ball and will score next to the post. So Kelston just too good so far. Absolutely almost faultless, you would have to say, through this first half. I believe the completion rate sitting at 100% for Kelston. A penalty conceded in defence, the only possible bad mark on their game so far. Of course, they did leak 1 try off an overlap down the left-hand side, but they've been excellent to start this game, and Phil Gordon, I'm sure, will be pretty happy there, sitting on the sidelines. So this kick to make it 22 points to 4, and Wesley already facing a very hard road back into this one. At this stage, we're odds on to see a repeat of last year's SAS College Rugby League final, which St. Paul's won an absolute thriller out at Birkenhead War Memorial Park. And the kick is over again. So 22 points to 4 as this half comes down towards an end. And Wesley, they need a response, and they need one quick. So Pompey's had plenty of practice with these restarts today, plenty of them. It's a different one this time, a little bit deeper, but Kelston again onto it. Onyeki takes it after a shaky little start to that catch. And the kick chase is good from Wesley. They meet them head on. This is what they need now, a bit of enthusiasm from the defensive side of the ball. They haven't enjoyed much possession so far in this game, and again, it's an aggressive first up contact, and they've forced the knock on. So Wesley, that perhaps just what they needed here. A try just before the break would really help their cause coming into this second 25 minutes here at Kelston Boys High School. And that's just what the doctor ordered. When you look across this Wesley team, not many of the boys playing club rugby league at this stage. We've got a couple of lads playing for the Papakura Sea Eagles. Obviously, as we mentioned earlier, a noted rugby union school rather than rugby league school, so it's great to see them involved in the greatest game of all at this SAS College Rugby League level. Silo now takes the ball inside, and there was a couple of nervous moments there with a couple of juggles. Tupea goes into dummy half, they shift it out towards the right, and this is the big prop. Simone Setifano has been one of Wesley's best so far, strong in defence, gets a good quick play the ball now, and they head back towards the sticks. Keanu Naden, one of those Papakura Sea Eagles players we mentioned. And there's a player down on the field who looks to be in a fair bit of pain, so that's never good to see. We will wait as the trainers come on to help out. Plenty of concern being shown from both teams. Looks like a nasty knock picked up there by one of the Kelston players. He's in good hands with the medical staff now, so we wish him all the best with that recovery. Hopefully not too serious. Didn't quite catch the number of the player there. We'll try and update you as the game goes on. It's looking in a fair bit of pain on the sideline nonetheless, but Wesley get things back underway. Setefano now heads out the back. Second man play to Lawrence, but it's dropped, and that's not what they needed. Wesley, they won a number 11. Isaiah Tangi just struggling to hang on to the ball and coughed it up about 20 metres off the line. So Kelston now pack the scrum down, not long left in this first half. A bit of a push from Wesley, maybe that's the rugby coming out of them, the rugby union. Good to see it pushing the scrum, and again the enthusiasm in defence is good from Wesley. Line speed strong. And it's going to need to be. They haven't had much ball. They're going to have to make their impact on the defensive side in this game. Yoka again takes it to the line, just that little dummy, and gets the offload away again. And what a great player he is. He's been fantastic all year. Certainly among the top performers in this SAS College Rugby League competition. Hands on the ball again, getting involved at first receiver. Payne will take it out there towards the left edge. Yoka now gets his hands on the ball. Early kick. Silo coming back, ball bounces up, and it's well handled in the end. He'll return this ball, but the Kelston chase is excellent. Led by that man, Yoka. Around the legs, big first up contact. And a knock on out of dummy half there, and it hasn't gone unseen. Sloppy errors from Wesley just when they get their hands on some ball. And Tui Pompey comes in for a dummy half dart, probably just looking up to sort of count numbers and just forgetting about the first job at hand, which is to catch the ball. So sloppy errors from Wesley, and if there's enough time on the clock, Kelston will get a final chance to add another score here and really blow this game out of the water. It's currently 22 points to 4, as you can see on your screens. Kelston utterly dominant so far. So scrappy play out the back of the scrum. The ball eventually comes out and Rangi dives on it. Unorthodox feed. Yoka now heads back towards the sticks. Number 11, Justice Leo Sevi. Year 13 at the schools, played for Auckland Development under 17s. Towards the middle of the park now, and the fresh man on the field. This is number 16, Vincent Toloa. And they're rolling at them now. Saifata's got the ball. There might be a bit of space here. He's going to take it himself. Tackled well in the end by Wesley, who get across. I think he's been held up just short of the line. Fililua Malio into dummy half. Back towards the middle of the pass. It's not a great ball. Picked up by Leo Sevi. Spills out. Now there's space out here on the left edge if they can get there, Kelston. Bailey Payne, dummies. Steps through, offloads, Wairangi now. Met in good first up contact by Keanu Naden. There goes a siren, last play of the half. They go towards the left. Bailey Payne dribbles the kick through. Chases onto it, but Pompey cleans up safely and runs it dead. So that'll do us for the first half here at Kelston Boys High School. And we have Kelston, the hosts, holding a commanding 22 points to 4 lead over Wesley. Go and grab yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and join us again in a few minutes as we resume the second 25 minutes here in this SAS College Rugby League sudden death semi-final.